Zane pulled into the driveway of his suburban Chicago home, the engine of his rental car humming to a stop under the glow of the streetlights. It was late, well past midnight, and the house stood silent, a familiar silhouette against the starry sky. But as he turned the key in the front door, it wouldn't budge. The lock had been changed, and a crisp white envelope was taped to the handle, his name scrawled in his daughter Emily's neat handwriting. His heart skipped a beat as he tore it open, the words inside hitting him like a punch to the gut. Dad, I know about you and Mark. I can't let you back in until you choose us or him. The garage code is still the same. Stay there tonight. We need to talk in the morning. Zane stared at the note, the world tilting slightly. Emily, his 17-year-old daughter, had always been his rock, the one who bridged the gap after his wife left years ago. How had she found out? And why this drastic measure? He trudged to the garage, punching in the old code with trembling fingers. The door creaked open, revealing the cluttered space filled with old bikes, tools, and boxes of forgotten memories. He sank onto a dusty lawn chair, the cold seeping through his jacket. Mark, his partner of 6 months, the man who'd accompanied him on this business trip to New York. It was supposed to be discreet, a chance to blend work and romance without disrupting the fragile balance at home. But now everything was unraveling. Zane's mind raced back to how it all started. At 42, he'd spent most of his life playing the part of the straight, successful architect, married young to Sarah, Emily's mom, because that's what everyone expected in their conservative Midwest town. The divorce 5 years ago had been amicable on the surface, but deep down, it was Zane's unspoken truth that had eroded the foundation. He'd come out to himself long before, but fear kept him silent. Fear of losing clients, friends, and most importantly, Emily. Meeting Mark at a design conference had been a revelation. Mark was 38, a graphic designer with a warm smile and a way of making Zane feel seen for the first time. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, evolving from professional banter to late-night confessions. When Mark suggested extending the New York trip for a weekend getaway, Zane had hesitated but ultimately said yes. It was his first real taste of freedom, walking hand in hand through Central Park, sharing dreams without the weight of secrecy. But now, locked in his own garage like an intruder, Zane wondered if that freedom was worth this. He pulled out his phone, debating whether to call Emily or Mark. The battery was low, mirroring his draining resolve. Instead, he texted Mark, "Home safe, but complications. Talk tomorrow." Mark's reply came quickly, "Miss you already. Everything okay?" Zane didn't respond. How could he explain this without sounding like a failure? As the night wore on, Zane reflected on the subtle signs he'd missed. Emily had been distant lately, buried in her phone or homework, avoiding their usual movie nights. He chalked it up to teenage angst, but perhaps she'd sensed the shift in him. The extra smiles, the secretive calls. Or worse, maybe she'd snooped. The thought made his stomach churn. He loved Emily more than anything. She was smart, ambitious, dreaming of college in California. How could he reconcile his happiness with hers? Dawn broke, casting pale light through the garage window. Zane heard footsteps inside the house. Emily getting ready for school, perhaps. He knocked on the connecting door, his voice hoarse. "Em, can we talk?" Silence, then a muffled reply. "Not now, Dad. I have class. We'll talk later." The front door slammed, and she was gone. Zane felt a surge of anger mixed with guilt. Was this her way of punishing him, or protecting herself? He decided to wait it out, using the time to gather his thoughts. By mid-morning, he ventured out, grabbing coffee from a nearby diner. The barista, an old acquaintance, chatted casually. "Long trip, Zane? You look beat." He forced a smile, hiding the turmoil. Back in the garage, he set up a makeshift office on a workbench, sketching designs to distract himself. But his mind kept drifting to the societal pressures that had led here. The whispers in their community about traditional families. The church sermons he'd endured as a kid. When Emily returned that afternoon, she finally opened the door. Her eyes were red-rimmed, arms crossed defensively. "Dad, I found your emails. To him. How could you hide this from me? Zane's breath caught. I was going to tell you. It's not easy. She cut him off. Not easy? Mom left because of this, didn't she? And now you're choosing some guy over us. The accusation stung. Sarah had left for her own reasons, but Zane had never corrected the narrative. Now it was biting back. They argued for hours, voices echoing in the garage. Emily accused him of betrayal, of shattering their family image. Zane defended his right to love, explaining how suppressing his identity had nearly destroyed him. But Emily wasn't convinced. She feared the judgment from friends, the stares at school. What if people find out? Our life here is fine. Why ruin it? Zane's heart ached. He wanted to hug her, to promise everything would be okay. But the divide felt insurmountable. As evening fell, Mark called. Zane, what's going on? You sound off. Zane confessed everything, the note, the lockout, the confrontation. Mark listened patiently. She needs time. We'll figure this out together. But Zane wondered if together was possible. The day's events had exposed the raw edges of their worlds colliding. His hidden life clashing with Emily's need for stability. That night, Zane slept fitfully on an air mattress in the garage, dreaming of alternate paths. The conflict was just beginning. A storm brewing that would test loyalties, force choices, and challenge societal norms. Little did he know, Emily was upstairs, scrolling through forums, seeking answers in a sea of conflicting opinions about parents coming out late in life. The next few days blurred into a tense standoff. Zane remained in the garage, refusing to force his way in, hoping Emily would come around. He worked remotely, his laptop balanced on stacked boxes, fielding concerned emails from colleagues. Everything all right at home? One asked. He replied vaguely, family stuff, handling it. But inside, doubt gnawed at him. Was he being too passive? Or was this the space Emily needed? Emily, meanwhile, navigated school with a facade of normalcy. Her best friend, Mia, noticed the strain. You okay? You seem distracted. Emily confided partially. Dad and I are fighting. Big time. Mia, from a progressive family, probed gently. About what? You can tell me. But Emily held back, fearing judgment. In their small town, where rainbow flags were rare and church potlucks dominated social life, admitting her dad was gay felt like inviting chaos. At home, their interactions were sparse but charged. Emily brought him meals, sandwiches, leftover pasta, leaving them at the door like offerings to a stranger. Thanks, he'd say, trying to catch her eye. She'd mumble, whatever, and retreat. One evening, she lingered. Why now, Dad? After all these years. Zane sighed, setting down his fork. It wasn't planned. Mark, he makes me happy. I didn't choose this orientation, but I can choose to live honestly. Emily's face twisted. Honest? You lied to Mom, to me. What about our family? Zane explained the pressures of his youth, the expectations from his own parents, devout Catholics who viewed anything non-traditional as sin. I married your mom because I loved her, in my way, but it wasn't fair to either of us. Emily shook her head. So you're saying our life was a lie? The words hung heavy, amplifying the rift. Words spread subtly. Emily's aunt, Sarah's sister, called. Heard there's trouble. Need me to come over? Emily declined, but the call planted seeds of alliance. Aunt Linda was conservative, often quoting Bible verses on family values. Your dad's going through a phase, she texted later. We'll pray for him. Emily felt torn. Part of her agreed, but another part missed the dad who'd coached her soccer team, helped with homework. Zane reached out to Mark for support. They video called nightly, Mark's face a beacon in the dim garage. This is temporary, Mark assured. Kids adapt. Remember my niece? She came around after her uncle came out. But Zane worried. What if she doesn't? I can't lose her. Mark suggested introducing himself. Maybe if she meets me, sees I'm not a threat. Zane hesitated. The timing felt wrong. The turning point came midweek. Emily's school hosted a diversity assembly, ironically timed. A guest speaker discussed LGBTQ plus rights, sharing stories of acceptance and struggle. Emily sat rigid, the words echoing her dilemma. Afterward, a classmate came out casually in conversation. "My two dads are awesome." It sparked envy and confusion in Emily. Was her reaction fair or rooted in fear? That night, she confronted Zane again. "If I accept this, what happens? Do we pretend everything's normal while neighbors gossip?" Zane nodded. "Some might, but others will support us. It's about us, not them." Emily revealed her deepest fear. "I'm scared you'll leave, like Mom did." Zane's eyes welled. "I'd never leave you. You're my world." For the first time, she hugged him, brief but real. Progress was slow. Zane moved back into the house the next day, but tension lingered. He invited Mark over for dinner, a risky move. Mark arrived with flowers for Emily. "Hi, I'm Mark. Your dad talks about you all the time." Emily was polite but guarded, asking pointed questions. "How long have you known?" Mark answered honestly. "Long enough to know he's worth the wait." The meal was awkward, filled with small talk about work and hobbies. But as Mark shared stories of his own coming-out journey, losing friends but gaining authenticity, Emily listened. "It wasn't easy," he said, "but hiding hurts more." Emily pondered that, her defenses cracking slightly. Yet external pressures mounted. At church that Sunday, the pastor preached on traditional marriage, glances darting toward Zane. He felt exposed, whispering to Emily, "We can leave." She stayed, defiant. Later, she admitted, "I hate how they judge without knowing." It was a small victory, a shift toward empathy. Dane's work suffered. A client pulled out, citing personal differences after rumors spread. "This town's too small," he confided to Mark. "Maybe we need a fresh start." But uprooting Emily's senior year? Unthinkable. The conflicts piled up, each one a thread in the tapestry of their evolving family dynamic. As weeks passed, Emily began researching online, support groups for kids of LGBTQ plus parents. She found stories mirroring hers. Initial shock, eventual acceptance. One forum post read, "My dad's happiness made our family stronger." It resonated, planting hope amid the drama. Months into the ordeal, the initial shockwaves gave way to deeper fissures. Zane and Mark's relationship deepened, but so did the societal backlash. Emily's school became a battleground. Whispers in hallways turned to outright comments. "Heard your dad's, you know," a classmate sneered. Emily snapped back, "Yeah, and? Mind your business." But inside, it stung, eroding her confidence. She joined an online community anonymously, venting frustrations. "My dad came out, and now everything's weird. Do I have to like his boyfriend?" Responses varied, some empathetic, others harsh. "Be supportive. It's his life." Or "Family first. Don't let him disrupt yours." The mixed messages fueled her internal conflict, making her question her own biases. Zane faced his own trials at work. A major project stalled when a conservative partner learned of his orientation. "We value traditional values here," the email read subtly. Zane fought back, consulting a lawyer friend. This could be discrimination, but pursuing it meant publicity, risking more exposure for Emily. He chose silence for now, channeling energy into rebuilding at home. Mark became a fixture, visiting weekends. He bonded with Emily over shared interests, art, music. "Your sketches are amazing," he complimented one day. Viewing her portfolio, Emily thawed. "Thanks. Dad says I get it from him." Moments like these built bridges, but arguments flared too. When Mark stayed over, Emily retreated. "This is too fast." Zane respected her boundaries, sleeping on the couch. A family gathering amplified the drama. Thanksgiving at Aunt Linda's was tense. "Zane, we've been praying for you," Linda said pointedly. Emily defended, "He doesn't need prayers. He needs acceptance." The table fell silent, relatives exchanging glances. Uncle Bob chimed in, "Times are changing, but family is family." It was a mixed bag, highlighting generational divides. Post-holiday, Emily confided in Mia fully. "Dad's gay. Dating this guy, Mark." Mia hugged her. "That's cool. My cousin is too." The support bolstered Emily, prompting her to invite Mark to her art show. He attended, praising her work genuinely. "You're talented," he said. Emily smiled. "Coming from you, that means something." But not all was smooth. A viral local news story about a gay couple facing housing discrimination hit close. Zane discussed it with Emily. "This is the world we're in." She nodded. "It's unfair. But what can we do?" Zane suggested volunteering at a LGBTQ+ center. Reluctantly, she agreed, attending a youth group. There, she met others in similar situations, sharing stories that normalized her experience. Romantic tensions arose too. Mark proposed moving in, but Zane hesitated. "Emily's not ready." Mark understood but felt sidelined. "I love you, but I can't be a secret forever." The conversation escalated. "It's not a secret. It's timing." They nearly broke up, Zane torn between loves. Emily overheard, feeling guilty. "Don't end it because of me," she told Zane later. "I just need time." It was a turning point, her empathy growing. She even defended Zane online when a troll commented on a family photo. Love is love. Yet, controversy peaked at school. A debate club topic. Should parents come out if it affects their kids? Emily argued pro. Hiding hurts everyone. Opponents cited moral decay. She won, but it sparked backlash. A petition from parents to protect traditional values. Zane was furious. "This is bullying." He confronted the school board, Emily by his side. The experience united them. "I'm proud of you, Dad," she said after. Zane teared up, "And I'm sorry for the pain." Their bond strengthened, but the external world remained hostile, setting the stage for greater challenges. As spring arrived, the family's fragile peace faced new tests. Emily's college applications loomed, her essays touching on personal growth amid family changes. "Discovering my dad's truth taught me resilience," she wrote. Acceptances rolled in, including her dream school in California. But the joy was bittersweet. Leaving meant distance from the drama, yet also from Zane. Mark's patience waned. "I want a future with you, Zane. But this limbo." They decided on couples counseling, a neutral space to navigate. The therapist probed, "What does family mean to you?" Zane realized it included Mark now. Emily joined a session. "I like Mark, but change scares me." Honesty flowed, fostering understanding. Societal clashes intensified. A pride parade in nearby Chicago drew them in. Zane invited Emily, just to see. She went, overwhelmed by the vibrancy. Flags, music, stories of triumph. "This is what you've been missing?" she asked. Zane nodded. "Part of it." Mark marched with them, holding Zane's hand publicly for the first time locally. Emily snapped photos, posting one. "Proud of my dad." Likes poured in, but so did hate comments. "Disgraceful." The backlash hit home. Vandalism, a slur spray-painted on their garage. Zane reported it, but the police dismissed. Kids being kids. Emily was outraged. "This is hate." It radicalized her, joining an advocacy group. "We can't stay silent," she declared. Personal dilemmas arose. Sarah, Emily's mom, reappeared via call. "Heard about Zane. How are you holding up?" Emily vented. "It's complicated, but he's happy." Sarah admitted. "I knew deep down. I left to find my own path." The revelation shifted Emily's view. No villains, just humans. Mark proposed a trial weekend getaways as a trio. Their first to Lake Michigan was awkward at first, but laughter emerged over bonfires and stories. Emily saw their chemistry. "You two are cute, in a dad way," humanized Mark, making him family. But controversy brewed when Emily's school invited a conservative speaker on family structures. Protests ensued. Emily led a walkout. "Love isn't debatable." Suspended briefly, she stood firm. Zane supported. You did right. The incident made local news, polarizing the community. Supporters sent cards. Detractors boycotted Zayn's firm. Business suffered. Zayn considered relocating. California with Emily? Mark suggested, but ties held him. A client meeting turned ugly. We can't associate with. Controversy. Zayn fired back. Then you're not the client for me. Empowering but risky. Emotional peaks hit during Emily's graduation. Zayn and Mark sat together, Emily beaming. In her speech, family isn't blood, it's choice. Applause mixed with murmurs. Afterward, hugs all around. Thanks for being patient, she told Mark. As summer dawned, resolutions neared. Zayn and Mark planned a commitment ceremony, small and intimate. Emily helped organize. I'll walk you down the aisle, Dad. It symbolized acceptance, but not without tears. Yet, underlying tensions persisted. Would society ever fully embrace them? The journey highlighted choices' costs, fueling ongoing debates within and beyond their home. With Emily off to college in the fall, the house felt emptier, but fuller in spirit. Zayn and Mark moved in together officially, transforming the space with shared touches. Art pieces, cozy corners. This feels right, Zayn said, unpacking. Mark agreed. Finally, but adjustments came. Habits clashed, reminders of individual lives merging. Emily visited often, her campus life buzzing with new friends, including LGBTQ+ allies. College is eye-opening, she shared over video. I get it more now. She dated too, confiding in Zayn. He's nice, but nervous about meeting you too. Laughter eased old wounds. Societal echoes lingered. A national debate on gay rights flared with new legislation. Zayn testified at a local hearing. Families like mine deserve protection. Emily watched online, proud. But opposition was fierce. Threats arrived anonymously. We're vigilant, Mark reassured. Personal growth shown. Zayn reconnected with estranged family. His brother, long silent, reached out. I was wrong. Let's talk. Reconciliation mended old scars. Emily interned at an advocacy nonprofit, channeling energy into change. This started with us, but it's bigger, she said. Romantic bliss wasn't without trials. Mark's job transfer offer to New York tempted. Better opportunities. Zayn wavered. But our life here? They compromised on long distance temporarily, testing resilience. We'll make it work, Zayn promised. A family crisis tested bonds. Aunt Linda fell ill. Emily urged unity. At the hospital, Linda whispered to Zayn, I'm sorry for judging. Forgiveness flowed, bridging divides. It underscored choices' ripple effects. Zayn's coming out sparking waves of empathy. As the year closed, they gathered for holidays. Toasts to new beginnings, reflections on the journey. Emily raised her glass. To choosing love in all forms. Smiles abounded, but questions remained. Looking back, the note in the garage had been a catalyst, forcing confrontations that reshaped them. Conflicts with society, family, self, each a battle won through dialogue and time. In the end, was Emily's initial action of locking her father out justified as a cry for understanding in a changing world? True or false?